guys at this turn here, I'd feel pretty good. But Kamara obviously goes ahead of me. So, yeah, I mean, I guess what are your thoughts on this round? I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for my next pick, but I mean, is there any surprises? Is there any player you want to talk about in this round specifically and where their cost is?
Yeah, I mean, I think the name that sticks out to me, and we've done several drafts, not necessarily redraft, but Rashee Rice. He's still climbing up draft boards pretty high. My question to you, Pete, is at the 3.9, is that a comfortable price for you for Rashee Rice? I mean, he goes after T. Higgins, yeah, Tyreek Hill's on the board, Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans, but I feel like I'd rather have Marvin Harrison over Rashee Rice. And I don't know if that's crazy to say. I mean, yes, we're going to have to deal with possible suspension, coming off injury. There's lots of considerations that we have with him. But for me, I just find myself hesitant to draft him.
S- I'm hesitant too. I don't think it's just you. I look at Rashee Rice, I look at that wide receiver room, and it is slightly crowded. The beautiful thing, the benefit that Rashee Rice has is this running game for the Chiefs. I don't expect it to be very good. They didn't really upgrade
Yeah.
it much. They brought in Brashard Smith, converted wide receiver to running back. I think he's going to be that Jerick McKinnon role. So I think that bodes well, for Rashee Rice. Does Travis Kelsey? I've seen the pictures of him. He looks pretty out of shape. So I don't. Is this his last? It's probably his last hurrah, maybe. But we've been saying it, the past 2 years now. But
Mhm.
yeah, to me, I don't really love Rice's cost, but at the end of the third round, if he can go early fourth, I mean, I would definitely be comfortable taking it. I will say I do prefer Devontae Adams over him, and honestly, I would take Terry McLaurin over Rice. I think I have to
I
think on
think
that
so
a little bit
too.
more, but I think I would take Terry over Rice as well.
Yeah, I really think I'd do the same thing. I mean, I like Terry a lot. Obviously, I'm a Washington fan, so I'm a little bit biased. But you know, I think there's a world where Jaden Daniels regresses some. Same with Terry McLaurin. I know we talked about that the other day on the show. But I still think that I'd feel more comfortable with Terry McLaurin than I would Rasheed Rice. But I understand why you're picking him. You're picking him. He's attached to Patrick Mahomes. Yes, the fantasy production hasn't necessarily been there, but I would expect it to get better. And we kind of over exaggerate a little bit. I mean, he was still a top 12 quarterback, and he's Patrick Mahomes, and I'm just not going to doubt the guy. So I think that it's an okay pick. It's just not the pick that I necessarily would make.
Yeah, I actually I prefer Devonte Adams over Rashi Rice, and I prefer Mike Evans. Um,
Mhm.
I just I think people are and people are gonna call me crazy, man. I really think people are sleeping on Hollywood Brown. I know it sounds nuts. I really think they had plans for Hollywood Brown in that offense last year. Am I gonna sit here and say that Rashi Rice is not gonna get that target share? But the thing with Rashi Rice is he's not an amazing athlete. He's not a great yards after catch player. He's a low depth of target guy who's running in the intermediates, right? And has to share the middle of the field with Travis Kelsey, right? And if teams are not respecting him as much this year, right, maybe that leads to more attention on Rice in the slot or in the intermediate game, opening up more stuff for Kelsey, right? And so to me, I think Xavier Worthy could take another step forward, right? I mean, you're looking at Xavier Worthy, who is down here at 57 in best ball right now. Now, best ball is more about high upside. Him and Worthy go pretty close, like almost back to back, right? Which just goes to show that the difference in best ball ADP and redraft, or managed leagues were as opposed to high stakes tournament. But yeah, I just think that there's a world where Hollywood Brown gets more involved. They clearly had big plans for him last year. And I like Rashi Rice, but again, when you look at the players around him, Mike Evans, I mean, yes, are we worried that there's a cliff and maybe he hits it? Absolutely. But when he's healthy, he's just so good. I mean, he was 14 last year and he missed how many games? And then I look at Devontae Adams, right? I would rather take a chance on Marvin Harrison Jr., who I know is going to have a much larger target share than Rashi Rice. And the possible suspension, right? Hopefully, we know more by the time redraft season really starts to kick up. But that's
But we didn't
that,
even mention injury. We haven't even talked about that.
and he's coming
That's
back from the
another
injury.
factor.
Yeah, yeah. So so that's my fear. There's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. It's not an explosive offense. I've been hearing it for years, and I know Tyler said in the comments, there's talks that Kansas City is going to start airing it out again. I'll believe it when I see it, man. Like the NFL, the way teams are playing Patrick Mahomes in these too high shells, like they're limiting the explosive plays, and they don't have a lot of explosive players. I'm not necessarily super sold on Xavier Worthy either. I mean, they could barely connect last year. That maybe that gets better, and he was also playing in more of the Hollywood Brown role. But that's also why, to me, it's crazy that people have no interest in Hollywood Brown. That's like in that offense, that's the player I want at the cost. He is. I mean, let's take a look at where Brown is now. Again, the ADP is a little bit skewed because it's early and there's not a lot of drafts probably happening. We're talking about what, 144. I mean, you're talking about a guy that you're probably getting in like the 13th round. I'd rather take a chance on that, who was a guy that, again, we know they had plans for him last year. So I guess that kind of, I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about with Rashee Rice?
No, I think that's a pretty good summary of that pick and what our thoughts are. I mean, we're kind of rolling through this draft a little bit. Sitting here now, I see Joe Burrow coming across, and I'm like, well, dang, that would have been nice to have at the 411 with T. Higgins.